Greetings to the world, regardless of your time zone. We're glad you're joining us today to thank our Maker for His mercies, for all He's been doing for us, for our leader Mazi and all those that are working with him. Give them the courage and the strength to accomplish what they have set out to do. All this we beg in your name. He said. Today is February 5, 2021. This is live broadcast from Radio Biafra, USA. We are reaching you through Radio Biafra, London, and Ipob Community Radio, directed by our leader, Mazi. My name is Mazi Alozie. Well, it's one of those days. Had to get up, had to get on the air. Despite the handicaps, they get it fixed, get things put together, and then it's just whatever it takes to get it going. You see, some days you want to talk, some days you just don't want to talk. Some days you just want to sit down, be like a snail, just crawl in and peep out a little bit. And when you see something normal, you come out more. When you see something unusual, you crawl back in. We have ESN, all the donations. I don't think I'm going to pass on that today. I think I will pass on those donations today. My friends, let me call your attention to what people write. To what people write. When they write things, you ask yourself, why are they writing what they are writing? Let me get the headline. Ipob members allegedly set police station ablaze in Ebonyi. Ipob members allegedly set police station ablaze in Ebonyi. And the writing goes up like this. Suspected hoodlums have burnt the police divisional headquarters in Isu, Onitsha, local government area of Ebonyi State. The State Police Public Relations Office, Lovetoda, made the confirmation late Thursday via a statement issued in Abakaliki, the state capital. The BPRO said 4 patrol vehicles were also burnt down on Thursday at about 03:25 hours. Hoodlums suspected to be members of the proscribed indigenous people of Biafra at Onitsha Divisional Police Headquarters, Isu in Onitsha, LGA State. One policeman sustained machete cut injuries during the attack, and he is responding to treatment in the hospital, the statement said. Now, this is where I bring you back. Suspected hoodlums. IPOB members allegedly set police station ablaze in Ebonyi. And then suspected hoodlums have burnt the police division headquarters. Members, hoodlums, proscribed, hoodlums, proscribed, IPOB, and you ask yourself, who is writing this? Where is he getting the information from? They have not been able to quench IPOB. Whatever gives them the comfort of continually calling IPOB hoodlums. May I, at this stage, tell you that these people are not repentant. They will never repent. They see you as their enemy. They cannot learn. They cannot correct what they have done wrong. They have conditioned themselves to believe that IPOB is proscribed, and they feel comfortable. They feel comfortable despite all the evidence piling up against the government that embezzles money, the government that does not care for the people, the government that has nothing to offer, and they are the ones calling IPOB hoodlums. Then who is a hoodlum? Who is the hoodlum? You proscribe the IPOB. Based on what? You make yourself feel comfortable. You make yourself feel, oh good, oh yes, IPOB, we proscribed them. You proscribed yourself. You did not proscribe IPOB. We are alive and well. We are in charge of ourselves. We are in charge of what we do. Where were the policemen when they were attacked? What offense did they commit to warrant their office being attacked? Are they capable of doing something that when you say this is what you've done, say, okay, it is worth revisiting. That is not the case. When you come, when you wake up, when you say IPOB, every day you are crying about IPOB. And you know the impact IPOB is having at the center stage in the whole world. Are you not ashamed? The writer, there's what people do. There are people that have conscience. People that have conscience. There is an extent where you do something, you say, no, we must reverse. This is not working. You continue journalistic rubbish. Journalistic rubbish. It was by Ochugu Sunday. Ochugu Sunday. You wrote IPOB members allegedly set police station ablaze in Ebonyi. You made that report. And I suspect it is your report that you said that the suspected hoodlums have burnt the police divisional headquarters. Therefore, Sunday, you are the culprit. You are among the hopeless journalists we have around. You are a threat to your own people. What did you gain by writing suspected hoodlums? Who are the hoodlums? Who are the hoodlums? There are words that you threw around anyhow. You throw them around, hoodlums. And you feel comfortable. Oh, well, they are hoodlums. Then what are you? What made them hoodlums? How did they become hoodlums? Who are hoodlums? If you are fighting for your survival, you become a hoodlum. That is brown envelope journalism. Suspected hoodlums have burnt police divisional office in Ebonyi. Suspected hoodlums. Sunday. May you please tell us who the hoodlums are? When you have the policemen who are bandits, when you have a policeman who cannot protect you, when you have policemen who escort the Fulanis to destroy your properties, you did not label them. What you did was to turn around and descend your write-up on IPOB. IPOB will kill you. IPOB will kill you. You cannot write certain things and claim you're not aware of what you're writing. Whoever is telling you to say IPOB members allegedly set police station ablaze, so what? Is it when you say to give us a bad name based on what? We're not looking for good name. We are not. We are who we are. The world knows who we are. And we'll continue to progress. We will continue to spread. In as much as we have arrested the situation under control, in as much as IPOB has strictly restored peace, can somebody tell me where this Sunday will get the clout to write IPOB suspected hoodlums? You are a hoodlum when you don't know the meaning of hoodlums. You don't know the meaning of proscription. You don't know why people are proscribed. And if you do, and you have a journalistic principle, did you ask yourself, is what I'm writing correspond to my journalistic principles, the oath I took? No, I don't think so. When you have people that are hell-bent on lying, you think, oh, you well done. Oh yes, yeah, IPOB. Oh yes, we wrote something about IPOB. Yes, yes, they are hoodlums. You are not ashamed of yourself. You are not ashamed that the people you are defending are the ones raping your daughter and your wife, and you are defending them. And you turn around to see the people that have volunteered to save you, and you stay in your cozy environment to say they are hoodlums, biting the finger that is feeding you. Most of you deserve the judgment day. Nobody stops you from expressing your right. You can write. That's your feeling. But make sure that what you're writing is justified. Today is no longer the day you can just pick up and say IPOB hoodlums. And now we'll start calling you to questioning. If you say we are hoodlums, you're going to account why we are hoodlums. You can't just write IPOB hoodlums. Why are we hoodlums? Proscribed. Is it today that we started hearing about the proscription? Even you cannot even pinch yourself and say, this is not right. And most of you rehearse and continue to put out nonsense. I think we are permeating the environment very well. You can no longer hide and write nonsense and get scot-free. You say we are hoodlums. You will tell us why we are hoodlums. You will tell us if somebody is fighting for his survival, if that's what made that person a hoodlum. Then I ask you, what is the meaning of hoodlums? And who are the hoodlums? These, excuse me, these are the things they put out to convince you. Go back to the old political landmine. Political landmine. You don't move forward. You make yourself very, very comfortable. People are killing you, and you come to put up a very broad headline. And who is the writer? Who is the writer? A Biafra. IPOB members allegedly set police station ablaze. Suspected hoodlums. And where were you? Were you there? Oh, you write it for the Daily Post and you post it. Oh, you take it to the National. Oh, IPOB, they're still hoodlums. What a shame. What a shame. Today, the people you are addressing, the people you are trying to convince that IPOB is proscribed, are the ones thanking IPOB for what they have done. They are the ones telling IPOB, ride on. We are behind you. Come on, come and help us. But for a hoodlum, an imbecile that knows nothing about journalism will come and write nonsense. Ochogu Sunday. I think this is one of your most undoing articles. This is one of most of your undoing article. May you not be able to enjoy any fruit or labor accruing from the work of IPOB. May the day you wake up to enjoy fresh air of freedom, may it be the day you will stretch stiff and never to unstiffen again. For people to play with the lives of other people, even at the late hour, is very, very disturbing. This is where we end it, and I'll open the phone line The call number is +1 484 767 0848. +1 484 767 0848. That is the call number. You take it upon yourself to continue to attack the work that IPOB is doing. And I wonder what goes through the mind of most of you. It is the way it is. The call number is +1 484 767 0848. Let me see. It takes a while before that comes in. Caller, your name and where you're calling from. Caller, your name and where you're calling from. Good morning, go ahead.
Okay. Thanks for that. Are you hearing me?
Yes, we're hearing you. Go ahead.
Yes, I want to agree to Mazi. I agree to him with that personally. The only man is saying the truth for this generation. Then I want to talk because this man come up different about our leader last speech about this evil group of Fulani. One leader has more the hidden things and plan Chinese and British government in Nigeria. This judge that gives judgment about the Fulani and about the constitution of Nigeria. All this law is there and not saying anything all this time. If Fulani are on his head, and some of them are our leader has opened it for everybody to see what the law is saying. But look at what is happening to our people. Somebody will suffer and ask in some. These Fulani people will come inside not only to chop up a piece of the cassava, the Fulanis put all the cassava and put it for their cow to chop, and they open some barrier. Any day a cow ill, the contestants will come out, governor, permission to pay Fulanis. If I can remember what happened to Mbi sometime last year, where also the Mba say he's going to pay 80 naira for killing. Permission to pay Fulani maybe 100,000 or whatever amount. Forgetting about somebody that has planted something which the Fulani use their number and destroy. Nobody is compensating those people. When I think about what is happening to our people, I was asking myself, suppose if Nnamdi Kanu, if IPOB does not come by this time, what is going to happen to our people? What is going to happen to the whole Nigeria? Because everybody is afraid of Fulani. Every state on the planet. And because of that, the Fulani are doing whatever to everybody. I thank God for my leader. I thank God for our leader. I thank God for IPOB, all the regional ones, the truthful ones, the ones who can stand and say, Fulani go to hell with any amount of their money. Fulani go to hell with money. Money is nonsense.
Thank you, Mazi. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Alozie, for all the efforts. Thank you.
Caller, your name and where you're calling from. +1 484 767 0848. Every day is Fulani. Every day is Fulani. Every day is Fulani. Has it not reached where we can no longer say Fulani is Biafra? When they make themselves relevant, when they make themselves a household name at your expense, instead of you dealing with what's confronting you, yeah, they became a household name. Fulani, Fulani. And you can no longer talk. See the extent of the way things are going. See the extent of the way things are going. It has reached the epic proportion where we must draw the line. We make them a household name. We encourage them. We don't challenge them. Rather, we glamorize. Oh, this is what they have done. This is what they have done. Call out your name and where you're calling from. Call out your name and where you're calling from. Okay. That line did not go through. The call +1 484 767 0848. We have overblown the importance of these Fulanis. We have blown it out of proportion. We are not tackling them as criminals. Rather, we are following them, that they once dictating for us what to do and what not to do. Call out your name and where you're calling from.
Jeff Germany.
Welcome, Jeff.
Yes, I heard what you said about what you said. Our people, for us. I Biafra television this morning, and somebody's writing that junk just because of the little money he's getting from Umoru, David Umoru or Dauda Umoru. You see, that is very disheartening. What our people are doing to our people. But their days are numbered now, because the word IPOB has been, exonerated. What our leader has been saying since 2013 is manifesting. It's coming. It's not, sure everywhere in Nigeria. Look at what's happening in Benue State, and Benue and our neighbors. So these guys, the governor of the Benue State, is trying to. It's not even doing anything to protect our people in Benue State. He's part in Benue State. So I want that man. I mean, the best of the whole government is already so formidable. From day one, that guy has been defending his people from human terrorism. In fact, he was the first governor to assemble his people, making sure that Fulanis do not graze in Benue State. He was attacked. He was, in fact, they wanted even to invade him. They will invade his state. That man was, had stood his ground. He said, over them, my people are more important to show you somebody who therefore and posterity will judge him in very level. We never get that man in our years. This is the send them from the institution of here. Sure that if you want to base in this, you must, have, access to grace. You must have your grace, your plan for grace. And he's still standing on it. 3 days ago, he told me, how do you want to disarm me? I'm flat. It's not going to happen. So the people in themselves are so-called Igbo governors are there, ashamed of themselves. TV is the only, Beno is the only the way you have to state in but look at, we have 5 Igbo states. If they should come together and a decisive decision, I'm not sure, you can suppress 5 governors come together. But look at them. Mazi Alozie, that governor, that governor is good money. Have we seen them together before? Do you know that none of them can even come one another and discuss what is happening in Igbo land? They don't talk to themselves. And so tell me how we going to themselves there, and then they are against it. What has the Lord has given, he said, to protect our women, from this rapist, from land grabbers, and yet they are fighting against their brethren. Look at what is happening in Biafra state. Murderous terrorists, brandishing their guns, discussing with murderers, killers, kidnappers. They are not. These people are not even more outside. They are foreigners. Not the people who are from Nigeria are not Hausa people. They are giving, they even amazing for them. Where we are in a country, there is a very on all of them. Those representatives, or anybody who is representing Igbo land, Abuja, that person is a more moron. God bless you, Baba.
God bless you too. Bye-bye. That is so. That is the way it is. We watch them play us like a draft. And they do all these things, and we dance according to the biddings they are setting for us. It's like we don't have agenda for ourselves. Hey, look at it. Everything is Fulani. It's reached the epic proportion where we must rethink the way we do things. Anyway, this is not the best day for the broadcast, and I'm gonna be ending it in a few minutes if it becomes so slow. I have other things to do. Because we have a lot of things in our mind. And what are those things? What are those things? Caller, your name and where you're calling from. Caller, your name and where you're calling from.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning from
My name is John from Maryland.
Welcome.
Thank you very much, sir. Yes, I listened to your wonderful submissions and the question. But the thing I want to encourage my submission this morning is I want to encourage you people who are making us proud in our radio and all our channels. The word spoken by our leader that you see, like has reduced to nothing. That zoo has reduced to nothing. Except Nama. Is that is only continue that is by presidents instead of the president. Any factor will continue and take a decision that will favor the family. We all should be encouraged. Many of those of our side, Biafra, we know that what is holding most of them who are trying to please their agenda is just the coins they are giving them, the promise of political position. It's not the promise of the political position is for them to take the good decision. It's just for them to make their own selfish money. But now everything has been destroyed. We don't know that everything is destroyed. They are looking for a way. Even now, if I made this call, I had CBN has banned or suspended all banks that is using cryptocurrency and Bitcoin whatever. That country, as long as these people called Fulani, the world has proscribed Fulani as one of the worst terrorist organizations in the whole world. Nigeria just accommodated them, and these were all planned. I am seeing it that this has been planned years back before even Nigeria, the time Nigeria was clamoring for independence, fake independence, and that anybody that heard that when we are calling on Britain, they don't know the name. You summon these people that they don't want to stick together. And you have no reason one day that what is going on. Come and everybody is tired in that I can't call it a country. I can't call it a place. That other countries are discussing of things that are important. What that place people decide kept together is just taking decisions that will kill the citizens, that will make sure everybody dies. Protecting Fulani. They will be tired. The main thing there, the main strategy is consistency. Let us try in our own way. You are right. Nigeria has been reduced to Fulani, and that is the way it's going to be. Our politicians, you people should be ashamed of yourselves. Look at what is happening in Otutuwa land. They are supporting theirs. You don't want to support yours. Don't worry. Time shall come when you beg, when you will plead to come in that family, tell you we don't need people like you. That's my submission this morning. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And that's the way it is. Like I said, today is if day, so the calls are not there, so I'm not gonna wait. So I'm gonna call it the day. The women will be on the air tomorrow, Saturday. They will be there. So be with them tomorrow. That is the way it is. They are our women. So they are here for us. So I thank all of you. I cannot wait. Something is wrong. Whatever the delay, I don't know. So I'm gonna call it quick. I'm gonna call it today. It is the shortest broadcast I ever made. So bear with me. And, tomorrow is another day. Thanks to all of you. It's just the way I am today. When we are always being informed about what is happening, we're supposed to act on it based on the evidence before us. And make sure we act correctly. So, as far as I know, we're done for today. Tomorrow, we will be up and running because the women will be here. They will be here.
Good evening, wonderful people, great Biafrans, wherever you are on the face of this very planet once again, and with every sense of humility and purpose this very evening, morning, afternoon, or night, depending on where you are domiciled, depending on where you're listening to us from. We welcome you to another expository, explosive, incisive, educative, and informative installment of another presentation on this glorious platform, Radio Biafra, transmitting to the entirety of humanity, regardless of where you are. It is my belief that you are listening to us this very evening. It doesn't matter where you are. We are simulcasting on satellite, we are on FM, we are on IPOB community radio, we are on Radio Biafra, we are on tuning. As a matter of fact, if you wish to participate in this very program this evening, it is very easy. Ask your friends, ask your neighbors. The whole world is listening. If you go to Abuja right now, there is an eerie silence. All those that think that they matter, they are all listening to Radio Biafra. Some are hiding in their garages, in their cars, they are listening. People are listening in all manner of places at this very moment in time. Therefore, I say good morning to all of you, even those who are hiding and listening to us. I say good afternoon, good evening, and good night to some of you. We are not like any other. We are exceptional. We are supremely gifted. We are ordained by heaven to preach this gospel of redemption to the children of men, that freedom may come in our time. My name is Nnamdi Kanu. I am the leader of the largest mass movement on the face of this very planet, the indigenous people of Biafra, IPOB. I also happen to be the director of Radio Biafra and Biafra Television, but above all, and by the very special grace of the Most High Elohim, a servant of the wonderful people of Biafra. Wherever you are, it is my pleasure. Welcome each and every one of you. And as always, and without hesitation, I will make sure that this very program this evening permeates even the brains and the skulls of those who are hard at hearing, those who are impervious to reason. This very evening we shall do that which is right before God Almighty in heaven and the children of men on this very earth. I have come to preach the gospel of heaven itself. And this evening we are going to pray. As we always do on this glorious platform, we are going to call upon the Most High Chukwuemeka to do that which man is incapable of doing. Without further hesitation, we are going to pray. After praying, we are going to preach this gospel as given to us by heaven itself. And after that, I do believe that at the end of this very program, this very evening, morning, afternoon, night, depending on where you are, you will gain a greater insight into the intent of those running the damnable zoological republic, what they intend to do to us, and what we are going to do in our capacity as human beings to make sure that they do not succeed. If you have not asked your friends to join us, please try and do so. We are also live on Facebook. Despite all their shenanigans, despite all their efforts to try to delay, to sabotage our broadcast this very evening, we are live on that very platform. It doesn't matter what they do. My happiness this very day is that the whole world is listening. And that very position we adopted from the word go, resilience, determination, and never say die attitude is what is now resonating right across the length and breadth of that British contraption, the damnable zoological republic. Let us pray. And I will pray in the language of heaven, the very oldest language on this very earth, the language of the ancients, those that knew God before any other being managed to do so, the very center of this very earth, the blessed land of Biafra, Chineke na nke pụrụ m njeri na Chukwuemeka abịa mbụ anyị na-efe na-akpụ isi ala nye onye na-adị nsọ ma ruo mgbe ebighị ebi onweghị ihe eji atụnyere gị ịkarịrị ihe asị na ịbụ ma ụtụtụ ma ehihie ma abalị n'ihi na onweghị onye ọzọ eji ama atụ sị na ọ bụ ya yiri gị ịdị omimi wee karịa nghọta nke mmadụ dị ndụ na ọ bụ naanị gị bụ onye anyị na-efe wee na-akpụ isi ala nye anya anaghị efe arụsị ihe ọ bụla aka mere anya anaghị efe eze ebube dị ngọzi n'ihi na ọ bụ naanị gị bụ Chineke na nke usu niile nke ndị agha lee n'ọlụ aka gị eze ebube dị ngọzi akwa ọbụ ya ka mbara igwe na-egosi ọ bụ ụzọ ọdị anya ka ị ga-esi wee ja gị ma wee too gị wee fee gị ofufe nna nke ebere dị ngọzi ka ị wee kweta n'ezie na a na-abịawo n'iru gị wee tọgbọ ihe niile nke anyị bụ onye nwe anyị na Chineke na-asị gị biko were anyị ihe wee kwara ngwa ọrụ ka ihe gị wee chaa n'iru ndị gị niile bụ ndị ji nwe ntụkwasị obi n'ihi na anyị enweghị onye ọbụla ọ bụghị mmadụ dị ndụ ka anyị ji wee n'anya isi ọ bụ naanị gị ka anyị ji wee n'anya isi eze ebube dị ngọzi n'ihi na ikpete maazụ anyị bụ anọkwa ahụ mmadụ dị ndụ na nwa anwụ nna nke ebere dị ngọzi mara akwado okwu nsọ gị na dịrị ruo mgbe ebighị ebi n'ihi na isi na mgbe anyị cheghatara azụ n'ebe na anyị kpọkọ gị n'ime mmụọ na eziokwu anyị wee ebe akwarịrị n'iru gị eze ebere dị ngọzi na ị ga-aza anyị ekpere na ị ga-esi n'aka ndị na-akpagbu anyị wee wezuga ụmụ gị ọ bụ ekpere ka anyị na-ekpe n'ihu ụwa niile eze ebube dị ngọzi n'ihi na ị gaghị ekwe ka ihere wee mee okwu nsọ nke gị ihere nwere ike mmadụ dị ndụ nna nke ebere dị ngọzi kama na gị onwe gị bụ Chineke nna onye na-adịgịrị ma ruo mgbe ebighị ebi chetakwana ndị gboo na-etu gị ebighị ebi nna nke ebere dị ngọzi ị ga-ekwe n'ihi mmehie anyị ị ga-ekwe n'ihi na anyị kwuru okwu ọnụ na-adịghị mma ma ọ bụ site na akparamagwa ma ọ bụ echiche wee gharịpụ ndị gị n'ihi na ị bụ Chineke nna nna nke ebere dị ngọzi ọ bụ naanị gị bụ onye na-agbaghara mmehie anyị wee na-eche gị n'iru eze ebube dị ngọzi njụ anyị niile nna nke igwe biko ka igwe mere anya nwere wee gbaghara anyị mmehie na anyị ejikọtawa azụ n'ebe ị nọ o nweghị chi ọzọ nke anyị na-efe wee na-akpụ isi ala anyị ewezuga gị eze ebube dị ngọzi o nweghị onye ọzọ anyị sị na ọ bụ ya bụ eze ewezuga gị nna nke ndị nsọ akwa anyị na-amụ ụmụaka wee baa ha chi bụ eze na ọ bụ naanị gị bụ eze kasị ihe niile elu nna nke ebere bikonu o nweghị onye ọbụla nke anyị na-eṅomi na okpukpere ka anyị na-ekpere gị eze ebere dị ngọzi n'ihi na ọ bụ naanị gị bụ Chineke nna bụ onye hiwere arọ Chukwu nna nke ndị nsọ wee sị ka ndị gboo wee fee gị n'ime mmụọ na eziokwu anyị wee na-akpọkụ gị n'ime mmụọ na eziokwu n'ụbọchị nketa na-arịọ gị si onye ọ bụ naanị ya na-achị onye ike niile nọ na-abadara aka ya nna nke ebere dị ngọzi biko bịa ka iwe napụta Biafra n'ọnụ ndị ekwensu ndị ọjọọ ọchịchịrị ka ihe gị wee mụbaa n'ebe anyị nọ ka iru gị wee chaa n'ebe anyị nọ ka ụwa niile wee si n'ezie na ụmụ Biafra bụ ụmụ Chineke ọ bụ site n'ihe ịrịba ama nke ikpete maazị nke ị ga-eme n'ime ndụ ụmụ gị bụ ndị Biafra ka ụwa niile ga-ewe si n'ezie na Chineke na dị ndụ ma ruo mgbe ebighị ebi ọ bụ naanị gị ka anyị na-efe wee na-aja mma enweghị m chi ọzọ ewezuga gị onweghị onye ọzọ na-akpụ isi ala nye ma ọ bụghị naanị gị onweghị ihe ọ bụla bụ arụsị apịrị apị nke anyị na-efe nna nke ebere dị ngọzi n'ihi na ịbụ mmụọ eboghị mmadụ nna nke ebere dị ngọzi ọ bụ naanị gị bụ Chineke nna nke pụrụ m ihe niile onye zọpụtara ndị ya na ọ bụ si n'ala Ijipt nna nke ebere dị ngọzi onye si na Israel ga-abịa ọzọ na 1948 eze ebube dị ngọzi dịka isi wee kwa anyị onwe anyị nkwa onye nwe m na Chineke nna biko mere anyị ebere ka Biafra wee bịa na mgbe nke anyị ka anyị wee jaa gị mma ma too gị ma gozie aha nsọ gị bulie elu makpụ isi ala nye gị ugbu a ma ruo mgbe niile ebi nke a na-arịọ gị ise ọkwa asụsụ eluigwe the language of heaven. If you go to heaven right now, the angels as always have surrounded the throne of the Most High and they are bowing down before him and saying that he is holy, and they are doing all of that in Igbo language, the language of the ancients in the Igbo, the oldest people on the face of this very earth. And I say so without any apologies to anybody. The truth must be spoken. If prayers can be said in Latin in those days in Roman Catholicism, there is no way we would not say prayers to the Almighty in the very language that the angels use in heaven itself. If you don't have your pen and paper ready, please, I ask you to try to do so. Janjaweed Alamajiri from the foothills of Putajalon, please try and bring your slate and your chalk with you, because this lecture this evening is for everybody. I want to listen, as always, very attentively to what we have to say. In Nigeria, the great zoological republic created by the British, I'm going to be as slow as possible this evening so that people can digest what we're saying. There is a grazing law in Nigeria, or should I say anti-grazing law. And the question that I want each and every one of us listening this evening, morning, afternoon, and depending on where you are, to ponder is this: Why is that law not being enforced? Do you know the funniest thing about this very anti-grazing law is that this law came into existence at the height of the war of Biafra and Nigeria. So nobody could possibly accuse the judge that delivered the ruling of any bias. It's also something called tort law, where I think it's T-O-R-T. I'm not a lawyer, but I did an elective course in law in those days at now London Metropolitan University. There's something called tort law. Tort law is a law that even a mad person ought to know about. Let me give you a very simple example this evening for us to properly put into context what is happening in the zoo between law-abiding citizens and Fulani killer headsmen. I want to put it to you this way. You are a businessman, or maybe you are a homeowner, you are a father or you are a mother, and you have children, and you have a house or a home. And one morning, I decided to come to your house to take your pot of soup, or your pot of stew, or your pot of rice or beans or a wedu or whatever it is, without your permission or consent. What are you expected to do under such circumstance? This is the food you've been cooking to feed your children. All of a sudden, this stranger walks into your home and decides to make away with your pot of soup. What are you expected to do? Now, some people who are not educated, some people who are very foolish in their disposition, some people who are not, should I say, intelligent enough to reason through natural law and justice, will say, oh, but there is no law guiding somebody stealing your pot of soup. Now, let me ask you, is there any law in Nigeria, against, or should I say, with any definite pronouncement on what should happen when somebody steals a pot of rice? For instance, is there any law in Nigeria that says when somebody comes to steal your pot of rice or pot of stew, this is what you're going to do? There is no law, but it's common sense. That is why it's called tort law. It's common sense. You should know that trespassing is evil. Do you know the funniest thing? The Fulanis, they knew about all of this. Very many years they've been planning to conquer each and every one of you without you knowing. It's a very stealthy, very subtle, should I say, approach. Subterfuge. You will not know. They dangle one thing in front of you, maybe ethnicity or tribe or religion. As you're looking at it and hyperventilating, they are busy advancing their cause, which is this remorseless and relentless march to the Atlantic Ocean. Understand this very well. I will ask you again, go and check every written law or unwritten law in Nigeria. Is there any law that says I cannot steal your pot of soup? So because there is no law that specifically says you should not steal anybody's pot of soup or pot of or ewedu or maybe garlic outside, then I should go and take it. And if I come to your house trying to carry something, to steal your food items in your house or take it without your consent, what are you expected to do? The same thing applies to the law of trespass. It's called trespass. You are a farmer. You know, the funniest thing is that there was somebody, he was selling beer in Kanu. He was doing business in Kanu. This Hisba police raided his business premises and destroyed millions of naira worth of beverage, because beer is beverage after all. If you don't know, it's beverage. They destroyed it. They said they were enforcing Hisba, or should I say Islamic Sharia law in Kanu. This man now returned to Isikwato and decided to go into farming. Having destroyed his livelihood in Kanu, now the same Fulani headsmen came to Isikwato, went into his farm and destroyed his farm produce. What do you expect such people to do? Because I'm saying all of these things for the whole world to understand where our anger is stemming from. We hate injustice. There is palpable, or should I say, ingrained injustice in Nigeria. There is something wrong with that very place. And that is what we are seeking to correct. Nothing more, nothing less. That there is injustice. They try to camouflage it. They try to I don't know how to put it. They try to sweep all these very thorny issues under the carpet. They think everybody is as stupid as they have rendered Hausa people. But we are not stupid. We are not daft. We are not useless. There is anti-grazing law in Nigeria. My question this evening is, why is it that the Fulani people who are ruling the zoo, why are they ignoring this very law that exists? Because Nigeria is a lawless country, that's why I call it a zoo. Tell me why a government should not obey the law. They have an attorney general who is a Fulani man. He could have advised them that there is a law in Nigeria banning the movement of cattle from one place to another, but he will not tell them because he himself is part of the wider Fulani Janjaweed agenda to try and conquer people who are daft enough not to understand their game plan. I want all of you to understand what I'm saying this evening very, very clearly. Understand me. It's because their intention is to conquer. They are not coming with AK-47 initially. They never came with it. They never came with any bombs. No. They came with cattle. And some of you may be wondering, how can people use cattle as an instrument of conquest? But that was the grand design of the Fulani, encouraged, of course, by the British, to come into our land with cattle. Claiming, we have come to, our cattle is in the bush. You cannot move them from there. 1 or 2 months, they start to build at their round hut. You have seen the one that we are demolishing in a police state, or their round hut, and in Abia. And after a while, they have Sariki Opa, or Sariki Iza. And in the next 50 years, you're gone. And I keep saying this thing all the time to Nigerians. Why can't you people reason? Don't believe what we are telling you. Don't believe what I'm telling you. No, you don't have to. I'm only asking you to go and do a bit of, go back to history. I keep telling you all the time, say, just a little bit, just go to history for about 1 hour a day. Just go into your Google and say, what is the original name of Sokoto? They will tell you. Who are the owners of Sokoto? They will tell you these are Hausa people. They will tell you Sokoto is Gobe. Then you ask yourself, how did this name change from Gobe to Sokoto? It is exactly what is happening today. They move one cattle in, they move one Sariki in, they move one Malam in, and that's the end of you. And then you get an emirate. Is it not happening in Jos? They say they are praising, they are very clever people. They are praising Governor Lalong of Plateau State. Can't you see he's doing well? Because there is not even Sariki, there is an emir of Jos. These are the things you ought to understand. But they will come after you. They will try to inundate you with conflicting and confusing messages. If you are not strong, you fall for it. Please ask those from Auchi, when did Islam come to Auchi in Edo State? Go and ask. Like play. If you let us forget, Sokoto is too far, Kanu is too far, or Katsina is too far. Use Auchi that is close to home. Use Auchi as an example. In Edo State. Auchi in Edo State is almost Islamic. Edo, Igodomigodo. If you don't know, let me tell you. That is their game plan. What they intended to do was to dangle 2023 in front of you. He's going to the south. He's going to the west. He's going to the east. As you're busy preparing and salivating to enter into Asorok in 2023, before you wake up, they will tell you, please be a good Nigerian. Don't evict those in your forest. They are feeding their cattle. If not for the coming of IPOB, do you know what would have become of you? For everybody. I said everybody. If not for IPOB, all of you in the zoo would have been gone by now. What they want to do is to unleash mayhem by next year. So there will be no elections. Before you know it, Britain will step in and say, but leave them now. After all, you have Igbo people in Sabongari in Kano. Why don't you allow them to be in your forest in Oka, in Ebonyi, in Anambra? Leave them now. Let them relax. Why don't they take over Edo State? Leave them. In the next 50, 60 years, you are gone. Finished as a race. Ask yourself this question. Why must they conquer with their cattle? Under tort law, Google it, T-O-R-T. T-O-R for Romeo, T for Tango. Tort law. Under tort law, you don't even need to legislate about Fulani entering into your farm. Once you see them, you kill all of them. Because they have come to destroy your livelihood and your property. When somebody comes into your house to steal your flat screen TV, do you allow them to go free? Then why must they go to your farm and destroy your crops? When you say it's hate speech, mind what you say. I say, are you a fool? Are you telling me I can drive pigs into the palace of the emir, or should I say the sultan of Sokoto, and they will allow you to go free? They're telling you, oh, we need to move cattle from place to place. Let us go and do piggery in the north. Let us go to Sokoto and do piggery now. And be rearing pigs very close to the palace of the sultan of Sokoto, and you see what will happen to everybody. Why must you then allow it to happen to you? Why must all of you allow Fulani to intimidate you all the time? They hire some idiots, both male and female idiots, loud-mouthed fools. All the time. All the time. I don't know exactly what is happening. I was doing this, and is somebody disconnecting me? I have no idea what the hell is going on. Somebody appears to be disconnecting me from our system. I don't know. You know, the attack comes from everywhere. I know Facebook is pretty stable. I don't know why people are doing this. Somebody all of a sudden switched what I'm saying on our satellite and our radio and also on our apps. And I have no idea why they will do that, but we'll continue. We will continue. We are back. We are reconnecting, and we have reconnected on that very platform. That's what they will do all the time. They try to attack us. They pay. Do you know how much money they're paying people to try to stop what we are doing? They have always failed, and they will continue to fail. What we are lecturing this evening, I'm sure that Facebook will not like it. I'm sure Britain is not going to like it. I'm sure that all the agents of neocolonialism, none of them is going to like it. I know they won't like it. I know they're not going to like it. Why is somebody from USA trying to tamper with what we are doing? Is somebody from the USA trying to tamper with? Tell somebody in the United States of America, somebody there is trying to tamper with what we are doing. Please tell them to get off, that I'm live on air. Please. Somebody from Radio USA 2 at ipob.org is seriously messing about with our program this evening. Tell them to please clear off. Let them bugger off. I don't care who the idiot is. Radio USA 2 should not please interfere with what we are doing. And I need confirmation, please do bear with me. I need confirmation that those of you listening via the app, that you are listening, please. Somebody idiotically in the USA is coming into our platform this evening to try and disrupt what we're doing. How foolish, how hopeless. Very, very sad indeed. But we must continue. We should continue. I want everybody to listen, please, to what I have to say. Under the extant laws of the damnable zoological republic, grazing on another man's land without permission is called trespass. And when somebody trespasses on your property, you can do to them whatever you like. It is the law, natural law, obtainable all over the world. Which happens when a person intentionally enters your land without permission. What is now happening in the zoo is that the states, or in Nigerian state, the so-called, we want one more state, we want two more states. All these states, they are mushroom local government areas. Glorified local government, they cannot do anything. They cannot even enforce this very law. Do you know why they cannot enforce it? Because what you have in Nigeria is a federal police. I want people to listen very carefully. You are running a federation. A federation sometimes, because the zoo animals, they copied the United States of America Constitution. In America, you don't even have federal police. What you have is FBI. They investigate. Now, if they come to, say, Georgia and they investigate, when they finish the investigation, they now hand it over to the local police. be it county, be it metropolitan, be it whatever it is, county or metropolitan police, they now prosecute you via the office of the public prosecutor, or they call it, what they call it again, I've forgotten what it's called. The prosecutor in each state, somebody's going to tell me in America, it's called, not Attorney General, it's called something, I've forgotten what it's called. It's escaped me completely. Old age is catching up with me. What is it called again? They actually vote them into power. I'm sure one of those very clever people in America will tell me very, very shortly. One of those very clever people in America will tell me, what's it called? You know the one the state one that you vote for, the prosecutor in the state. Some of you in America, please send me a message via signal, please. What is the name of? Oh my goodness, it's called. Is it Attorney General? No, not at all. But I know they vote for that very individual in America. They now prosecute you. But now let me tell you something about the zoo that you don't know. Because Nigeria runs only one tier. In a federation, you're supposed to have multi-tier. You have the federal, you have the state, you have the local or county government or whatever it is. But in Nigeria, very funny enough, they claim they're running a federal structure. They only run a federal police. So that when somebody commits a crime that is not a federal crime, but a crime legislated for by a particular state, how therefore do you expect district attorney, thank you very much, Uchenna, thank you, it's called district attorney, and they vote for them in America. Do you know America has no federal police? There is no Nigerian police force. Even their name makes me sick. Police force. How can a police be a force? I asked them before, the Britain that gave you policing in England, do the police carry guns on the street arresting people? The answer is no. Where did you learn this very primitive behavior from? They cannot tell you, but I'll tell you this evening. In America, there is something called the district attorney. They prosecute. Now, let me tell you how it goes. If you commit a federal crime, it's called a federal offense in America. Please, those of you in America, correct me if I'm wrong. And luckily enough for me, my secretary is a lawyer in America. Now, if you commit a federal offense, FBI will step in and investigate the crime. Hand over to the local district attorney for them to prosecute you. If you commit a state crime, the state police or whatever, the state or county police will prosecute you. But because Nigeria is run by Fulani Janjaweed, they know that this law exists that prohibits Fulani men from putting their cattle in your farm. And because you only have one enforcement arm, a federal police, not state, all of that nonsense, we have banned a cattle movement as they did with the Yoruba governors, and only yesterday, thankfully, Dave Umahi announced that they're now also banning movement of cattle around the whole of the east, should I say southeast, in this very case. Do you know why after announcing it, you still see cattle on the road the next day, as they did in Yoruba land the other day? Do you know why? Because if these are state laws that should be enforced by state police, but because you do not have state police, and because the police in Abuja, controlled from Abuja, do not have the legislative, or should I say the legal mandate to go and enforce any laws in Oyo or in Ondo, they will not stop the headsman from moving. I don't know if I'm making any sense. Now listen again to me very, very carefully, please. When you run a federal system of government, the government at the center will have their own law enforcement arm, as they do in America. It's called FBI. The local, I'm sure even in Germany, they have the federal police in Germany. And they have the police in Bayern. They have the police in what's it called? All those places that they have in Westphalia. They have their own local police. So when you commit a crime that cuts across borders, it becomes a federal offense. Now the police at the federal level can step in. But say the state of Bayern, or should I say the state of Florida, can decide to make a law that is very specific to Florida. If you break that very law, FBI will not arrest you. The local police in Florida will arrest you, and they will prosecute you in Florida courts. But in Nigeria, they copied American style. Listen carefully. After copying American style, they do not have the discipline to make sure that the system of governance and law enforcement is structured to reflect that federation that they claim that they are. Now you see why I call them a zoo. You know they didn't go to school. They go to dictionary and they cram words. They write in this day newspaper. They write, people mistake what I call grammatical wizardry as intellect or intelligence or elitism. It means nothing. You know nothing. All these years, when they were clamoring for state police, none of them ever articulated this very problem. Nobody said to you the reason why you can ban Fulani headsmen from coming into your state all you like. If there is no enforcement arm, if there is nobody to enforce that very law, you are talking rubbish. And in the zoo, they know, Fulani Janjaweed, they know that the federal police cannot enforce state-based laws banning grazing. Very clever. They think they're smart. They think they are intelligent. Do you see how daft they are? Do you now begin to understand and appreciate what we are saying? That when we call Nigeria a zoo, they have PhD, SSG, all these stupid, idiotic degrees that they've accumulated. They cannot reason. Why is it that Omahi is claiming that they banned it a long time ago? Why wasn't it enforced? Or your state, only the other, in fact, Yoruba governors, only a few days ago, they banned open grazing in Yoruba land. Not up to 4 hours. I think one of the newspapers published Fulani headsmen moving into Oyo State. Do you know the reason why? Nobody to police, nobody to enforce that very law. Had the Yoruba governors, if they had their own state police, that is why Fulani don't want state police. They said they want community policing. So they are playing with your brain, but you don't understand. You don't understand. You people don't know them. They are playing. What we want is community policing. Community policing. They fail to tell you that in any federal structure, anywhere in the world, after the federal police, you have the state police. Even after state police, you have local government. The one they call precinct in America, is it borough police or metropolitan police? Do you see how they're playing with your brains? Fulani moving cattle from place to place should not happen anywhere in Nigeria. Nowhere at all. Because the law says this should not happen. Ask them, since it was a federal law, because the pronouncement was made by a federal judge, why is it that the Fulani-run Nigeria police allow this nonsense to prevail all the time? Why? Ask yourself that question. Because they know they're using cattle to take over your land, and they're using it to conquer you. They is in our forest. Fulani live in the forest. And I asked the idiot, I said to them, Fulani, you people came from the Sahel, from the desert. You people are desert creatures. Since when did you start living in a rainforest? Since when? Show me one rainforest that you live in, Fulani. Show me one rainforest. One. It's only in the zoo called Nigeria. They want to come and live in the rainforest. I want to lay down the law first before we go into action. I want to let people understand. Anywhere you see Fulani with their cattle on the road, be it on the streets of Abuja, anywhere, they are breaking the law. You should kill those cattle. They are breaking the law. Anywhere you see Fulani, anywhere you see Nama on the road, they are breaking the law. Because Nigerian law itself, the zoo law itself, forbids it. They think we are fools. Under the laws of Nigeria, it's called trespass. But the states do not have the power nor the authority to enforce it because there is no state police. That is where IPOB, that is where ESN has to come in now. Somebody has to enforce the law. Or else the law will become an ass. Why make a law if you can't enforce it? So I'm thanking Dave Umahi and all the governors for now making it possible for ESN to legally enforce the law. Because there is a law. And anybody saying that the formation of ESN is illegal, I'm asking them who is going to enforce the law, this very law that Southeastern governors made. Who is going to enforce it? These are state laws. There is no state police. Who's going to enforce it? And lives are at risk. I hope you're following. Maybe after tonight they will be shaking. I am letting Nigeria. Anytime you see Fulani on the road with their cattle, it's our way of life. We are moving. The law says you cannot do it. That's what the law says. You cannot do it. And I wish that Amotekun can also enforce that in the West as well. Because the state have failed to enforce the law. Nigeria failed to enforce their own law. Now, citizens are rising up to enforce that very law, which is their right to do. Ask them, I want them to take us to court now. Let's go to court. Law. I will teach you the law that you don't know. Where a state fails in its duty to discharge a function that is legal, then the citizens have it. Why do you have citizens arrest? Do you know you can arrest somebody and take them to the police station and hand them over? It's called citizens arrest. Do you have the right to arrest anybody? No, you're not the police. But there is a law that a taught law that says, as a citizen, when you see somebody breaking the law, you can hand them over to the police. Common sense. I don't know what they teach them in that zoo. You people, I feel sorry for them. I don't know what they teach them in the universities. Open grazing of cattle has been banned by law in Nigeria since 1969. 1969. This has been reaffirmed by the South Yoruba governors and by Igbo governors. But the problem is, who is going to enforce the law? It is the law, yes. Has Fulani enforced it? No, they control from. The funny thing is that they will even use the police and the army to aid and abet murderers and killers, moving cattle from place to place. In any other civilized climate, they will impeach the presidency of the zoo. But sadly, in the damnable zoological republic, nobody will do anything about it. I want you to follow me carefully. You bring that your pen. I'm writing all the things down now. It's for free. Yes, it's free. Free lecture that your useless, idiotic law professors cannot teach you. All that is to cram grammar. Cram grammar. And look for who to sleep with to give them marks to pass. Or for courtiers to give them money so they can pass them. They teach you nothing. I feel sorry for some of you, because in the zoo there are law graduates. They don't even know what I'm teaching you tonight. They have no idea what I'm teaching you tonight. That there is a law in Nigeria. It's called anti-grazing law since 1969. The law says Fulani cannot move cattle. Forget about their way of life. That is immaterial. The law says you cannot move any cattle. That law has not been repealed. There is no other legislation superior to that one. They came down in the east. They were saying, we sat down. No more open grazing. In the west, the same thing. But every day, Fulani will bring cattle to your farm to destroy it and kill you, rape you on top of that. And none of you has ever sat down to say, if this law exists, how come Fulani is doing what they are doing? It's because you are in a zoo now. Your law is meaningless. That is why the citizens are now rising up to enforce that very law. That is why Amotekun is legal. That is why ESN is legal. Because there is a law made by government that needs to be enforced. Government has failed to enforce that very law. Then citizens will then enforce the law. Simple and very, very short. To this end, I am directing every IPOB family unit across Biafra land. You're all going to print posters. Big banner. You're going to print a very big banner. We are going to make it very, very clear that any cattle in the next, I think is it 10 or 11 days from now, any cattle we see on the road, we don't care where it is, we don't care if you're in the forest, we don't care if you're on the main road, anywhere we see any cattle in our land, we'll take the cattle. In the next, I think is it 10 or 11 days from now, any cattle we see on the road, we don't care where it is, we don't care if you're in the forest, we don't care if you're on the main road, anywhere we see any cattle in our land, we'll take the cattle down.